Hello,
Hello,
I'm Caitlin Powell,
and I'm Kate Butch.
and this is Quiz Gone By, the show we talk about nostalgic film, TV, and snacks, and try to work out if that's what made us queer.
And today,
We're joined by a very special guest. We're joined by the winner of Leicester Square Sketch Off 2020, hilarious character comedian, and one half of sketch duo Horseplay. It's Kathy Maniura.
Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
God. This is so exciting. I'm so excited to be here. This podcast has been really keeping me company in lockdown, so it's like being
How
in.
kind.
It's just being in like one of my favourite TV shows is what this feels like. It's great.
Aw, you said you were running. You told me you were running to this podcast.
Oh, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I've been running in lockdown. I don't mean to brag.
Wow.
Yeah. I have to. I realised that that's my life hack.
I'd
for
be running away from this podcast.
I was gonna say, is that the motivation?
I have to listen to. I can't listen to music when I run because it's not distracting enough. I have to be totally not thinking about the fact that I'm running.
I will bear that in mind when I
Podcast of the answer.
when I never go on a run ever
You
again.
have to really concentrate on this. Yeah.
This highbrow intellectual, all-consuming. Is how it feels when I run.
Now you've chosen what we're reviewing today,
Yes.
Kathy, and I'm a big fan. I'm
Kate has
thrilled that
never
you've
been
chosen this
happier.
because I feel like I need to unearth some kind of childhood issues.
You need to
But
warn
I was
her.
never brave enough to choose this film myself.
That is interesting.
I'm gonna say this film is probably the reason that we're doing this podcast, because this film made me queer. Like this is it. This is the one.
Yeah.
What have you chosen and why?
Well, what I've chosen is the seminal classic, Shrek, which
Yes.
I just, I have the same of just, it was just everything. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen Shrek, and I could probably at a push quote it start to finish. Like, I think I could do a one-woman show of Shrek. And maybe I will.
Oh, I think there'd be a fight on.
There might be some competition.
Yeah.
I could be in the background just sing some songs.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
Hallelujah and Smash Mouth.
It's just,
yeah.
I think my the one thing I was thinking as I was rewatching was that I think this might just become a Shrek appreciation podcast. It's quite hard to critique because it's truly perfect. And
It is.
and it was just me writing down bits that I thought were fantastic. The whole thing. But I think it's really interesting because I definitely at the tender young age of 6 or whatever when I first saw it, didn't think anything of its queerness. But my God,
Oh my god.
watch it now and you're like, this explains.
This explains so much. I found this such a wonderful nostalgic experience though, because I haven't watched put on a DVD in literal years.
Oh yeah.
And I found the Shrek DVD. Honestly, the language selection menu, that was a spiritual experience for me. I was like, I will listen to it in English. Yes.
Did you have the like you wouldn't steal a handbag? That was my favourite part of watching any DVD. Was that
I wish that's my favourite bit too. I had the DreamWorks thing though, and then the little Shrek menu with all the magical creatures and Donkey jumping up and down.
Oh,
And then the little pigs are like, yeah, play the movie.
So good.
I used to have this on video, and I think I wore this video out
Yes.
from watching. But I actually was recently bought for my birthday. I've got this here. I'm going to show you. This is my Shrek collection DVD.
God.
It's in a fancy case, and you've got Shrek 1 and 2. They've not bothered with Shrek the Third, despite it being, I think,
Correct.
quite a good film.
I would just like to say that I
But
really
Shrek-
respect that because I do see Shrek 1 and 2 as, to disagree, the creme de la creme.
They're the top tier.
3, I enjoyed. 4, absolutely
Get in the bin for.
get in the bin. And it's very upsetting to me because I first went to Netflix, only 3 and 4 on Netflix, and I was like, what are they
Bastard.
doing?
Yeah, that was
What
so
are they
upsetting. In one of the Shreks, they reference Worcester.
That's the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember everyone, because I'm from Worcester, the OG Worcester. And I remember everyone in Worcester losing their damn minds. We all went to the cinema and we were like, Worcester, Worcester. And then we got in there and we were like, oh, this isn't very good.
They go to that, yeah, because Donkey's like, Worcestershire.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's very
that's
upsetting.
great. With Justin Timberlake as that tiny prince boy.
Oh my god,
little
yeah.
just oh.
Oh, God, but that's...
It's a great series of films. I'm worried that they're going to make another one.
Yes, me too. Well, they did all this, but they did like the Christmas one and
Shrek the Halls.
Shrek the Halls.
Shrek the Halls, yes.
I'm scared Shrekless, thank you. The Halloween one.
There's a Halloween one?
I don't think I've
Yeah,
seen
scared
that one.
Shrekless.
Oh, sorry.
They had fun naming them at least. At least.
Yeah.
They did.
Good for them.
This film won an Oscar.
Did it?
Did it?
For what?
This film won the first ever Oscar for Best Animated Film, and I think, Caitlin, this might be the first Oscar-winning film that we've ever... I mean, since the Lizzie McGuire movie was so cruelly snubbed,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this might be the first Oscar-winning film.
Are you telling me The Muppets Wizard of Oz didn't win an Oscar?
It's hard to
Way to
believe, I
find
know.
out.
For most bizarre directorial choices.
I'm so happy that the Academy recognised it. That's great.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I watched a bit of the Oscars that year, because I was, like, only small, but I was obsessed with Shrek.
Yeah.
Obshrexed.
It's nominated, it's nominated.
They did, like, this stupid bit of them, of Shrek and Donkey, like, in an animated Shrek and Donkey, sitting in the seats watching the Oscars in the theatre.
Oh,
And it was really
that.
uncomfortable, because they were surrounded by, like, Martin Scorsese. And it was
I would love to
why
know
are they
like,
here?
how they did that. Like, was there like, what was Martin Scorsese sat next to? Is what I need to know. Like, how did they film
like
that? Was it like a man
stick
in
with a
like a
ball
little
on
I
it.
hope
suit
it was a person just like...
with those dots on? Yeah.
Well, they can't do a green screen, because Shrek's green himself.
Oh, my God.
The technical wizardry of
I
this
know.
film.
Ahead of its time.
Obsessed.
Ahead of its
Honestly,
time.
yeah. This was magical when it first came out. I mean, it's magical now. But, like,
Yeah.
when it first came out, I remember being like, oh my god, there's a dragon. Like, so impressed.
One of my points of discussion is actually the animation style, and in many ways the high quality, because it was made in 2001, right?
Yeah.
Which is like,
Wow.
it looks a little like it hasn't fully buffered, but it's good, right? Like, I watched it and I was like, this doesn't look as bad as you'd think.
This episode of Queers Gone By has been sponsored by our wonderful patrons.
I mean, listen to how much better I sound already.
We'd like to thank our amazing patrons on our TRACY tier.
Sophia,
Ed Colley,
Laura Kenny,
Alice Lia Maro.
and nothing is certain except Beth and taxes.
Yes, that is the name of one of our patrons.
Sensational. If you'd like to join these wonderful people in supporting our podcast and get exclusive rewards in the process, visit patreon.com/queers and sign up from just £1 a month.
That's patreon.com/QUEERS. Queers.
Shall we dive right into it?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
So we start with the little DreamWorks boy in the moon
Yes.
Oh yeah.
doing his reeling do 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 or whatever. Do 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 do. That's the one.
Oh, iconic music.
I just wrote down the words do to do, and I was
Do-do-do.
like, I'll know what this means later. I was wrong.
And
And
Shrek.
then he's reading his storybook.
Yeah. I remember thinking Mike Myers' voice here was the funniest thing in the world. Because it's not just a Scottish accent, it's that really good Scottish accent. It reminds me of, you know,
Yeah.
Fern Brady? Her impression of
Yeah.
herself as a child, which is like, I've got a guinea pig called Lady Marmalade who was named after a stripper. And it's so that.
What? It also very much that iconic viral vid reminds me of the I'm gonna sing Cheryl Lloyd by Cheryl Lloyd.
Yes!
That, like, incredibly strong. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ah, so
It is.
good.
Someone needs to re-edit that video with the mum coming in
And
be
it's
like,
Shrek.
what are you doing?
Get
in
out of my swamp!
Yes!
It wasn't me when I was fucking what I is. Disgusting.
Oh god. It is weird that it is Mike Myers though, right? Like, I feel like Because that was my introduction to Mike Myers, and then you see like I got older and saw like Wayne's World and was like, what? This is Shrek?
I only know him from Shrek. I've never watched anything else with him in. Keep it pure.
Keep it pure, just only Shrek.
Just his special time.
You've seen The Cat in the Hat, Caitlin. You take that back.
Is that him?
That's him.
Well, that's
in a
another pure and
transformative
special
role.
time.
Yeah. I didn't even realise that. Wow, he's got a whole like side career of just very wholesome children's roles.
Would you say The Cat in the Hat is a wholesome children's role?
Well.
Compared to like Austin Powers.
Fair. Wait, is he Austin Powers?
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I know nothing about actors, so this is all just a wonderful
I don't know
experience.
who Mike Myers is.
I don't know where I am.
And he's reading from the book, and then he rips out a page. It's like, what a load of old flushing sound.
Wipes his bum with it. My god.
The height of comedy when you're a kid. Yeah. He's on the loo! This is the best!
And then the iconic soundtrack kicks right in with Smash Mouth's All Star.
They don't waste a second. It's
And
that opening sequence.
Oh,
is brilliant.
Kathy.
It's credits. It's music. It's all the disgusting things as a child. You're like, yeah! It's like farting in that lake.
Kate, do you have something to say?
I wouldn't have said disgusting, personally. 6-year-old me looked at this and saw Shrek naked, showering in mud, and I was like, want some of that. I think this was maybe the first time I'd seen a nipple on screen.
Do we see a nipple? I don't think
Yes,
we see a nipple.
you do.
Oh, okay, you do.
I think Kate knows.
Why do you disagree with me? I am the expert
Yes,
on
I'm sorry,
Shrek
I'm so
and nipples. Yeah,
Wow, a sexual
I was like,
awakening.
oh,
That's
he's really fit.
I love
He's
how
got lovely arms.
they did a montage specifically to make it clear that he's not attractive, and you went, no. That's some
I
yum.
think that's queer. Finding something specifically unattractive quite appealing. That's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
I'm a trailblazer.
Yeah.
I think Shrek would just like treat you right, by which I mean he'd treat you absolutely appallingly. And he does later on. But it's got nice arms and like strong sturdy thighs.
I really feel like I need to rewatch that now.
You
I feel
don't.
like I've not been
I will
objectifying
say-
Shrek enough.
Yeah.
He's fitter in Shrek 2.
Okay.
Agree.
Yeah.
That's tea, actually.
They turned up the animation style, and I was like, yep, even better. And then they turned him into a man and was like, the man's fit. And I was like, no,
No,
go
the
back
man's
to the
kinda
green.
gross. No, the man's gross.
The man's gross and looks like that guy off Stranger Things.
Oh. What? As in?
The mean brother, Billy?
Oh, yeah.
Dacre Montgomery is the actor. He looks just like Shrek, the human.
The one with the long hair.
Yeah, but like, just imagine him without the long hair.
Oh.
We'll put the picture on the Instagram
Yeah.
somewhere. We can find that. But we're not talking about Shrek 2 or Stranger Things. It's Shrek 1. And then he's doing all his brushing his teeth, and there's like maggots spelling out the cast
Maggots
members'
are
names.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a genius opening credits. The townspeople gather ready to whatever. I don't know what they think they're going to do. They get their like pitchforks and torches and just
Give him a poke. That's what they want to do.
give him a little poke.
This is before Facebook.
Jab.
Yeah, back in medieval times, you had to do it yourself.
And Shrek's like, I don't think so, everybody.
Yeah.
You're not going to jab me. I'm going to make a soup from your freshly peeled skin. And I was like, yeah. Shave your liver. Do it, Daddy. And squeeze the
We
jelly
have
from
a
your
guest
eyes.
on, and you're misbehaving, Kate. You've gone
I'm here
feral.
for it. I love it.
Yeah, and then
He does a big scream.
We're gonna get you back, beast, back. And then he does a big scream.
Yeah.
And that, you seen the food flying out of his mouth?
Yeah,
And,
and they're all like damp. All the villagers are like.
They're not the only ones.
They go. I will say, like, I was struck by how hard they go on making him like really. I'll say it again, really gross. Like, and really like.
Yeah.
I realise obviously he's saying all that stuff as a joke, but it's like really violent and horrible. I was quite surprised being like, this is for children. And your main
really
character
endearing.
is like, I'm going to peel your skin off in the first like 5 minutes.
Iconic,
We love
frankly.
a good anti-hero.
Yeah, anti-hero, yes. Maybe the ultimate anti-hero, actually, Shrek.
He's like, this is the part where you run away. And they run away. And then they drop a poster.
Yes.
And come and see my show, The Space on the Mile. Every day. It's fairy tale creatures.
Wanted.
We pay cash for fairy tale creatures.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. This is so tragic. I was like, watching this through adult eyes, I was like, wow, DreamWorks said genocide, but make it fun. Like, it's really fucked up and really tragic.
It's really tragic, but it's so like... This is... I was thinking the whole time watching this, being like, this is so queer. It's like all the like... The fairy tale creatures are like always referred to as freaks and like totally outcast, and there's like all different types, and they all have like different magical things that they can do, and I was like, they're all the queers.
Yeah.
Have you seen Shrek the musical?
No.
It's a bit of a banger, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
The same person who wrote Shrek the musical also wrote Fun Home, which is very different tonally.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a song in it called Freak Flag that all the fairy tale creatures sing, and it is like the queerest anthem.
Oh.
And they wave a flag at the end, like they're in Pride/Les Mis.
Okay.
And it's magical.
Yeah.
And it's sung by Pinocchio, who is the gayest one, because as we know in Shrek 2, he wears a thong.
Oh yeah.
It's a thong!
Although I will say, I think the wolf is a non-binary icon, quite frankly.
The
I
wolf.
think so.
I saw a tweet that was like, the big bad wolf is the original trans femme icon. Little Red Riding Hood is the original TERF. And I was like, correct. Correct.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But
that's
also,
so good.
this film fully predicted. They have the little baby bear and the mama bear, and I was like, wow, they predicted Trump putting children in cages.
Oh my god.
Well, there's some bloody good Three Bears foreshadowing, which I will get to.
Oh, so good. So good. And I mean, we have to give an honourable mention to the little pigs, right? Like the German
Oh, yeah.
little pigs.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
campest.
The thruple.
The thruple.
The
right?
throuple!
They are such a throuple. When the first line is like, he hoofed and he poofed. And I was like, okay, I'm sold. Like, or anything you say now. I think they're... keep doing this, but Shrek 2, the best line that they have is when, I can't remember who they're talking about, and Pinocchio's like, it doesn't ring a bell. And the pigs go, yeah, no bells. And I just... I now use that. I use that in like daily life when I can't remember something.
My question is, at this bit, they're like, he hands over the witch, and he's like, that's 20 pieces of silver for the Wicked Witch. And like, do these people own witches? And like elves and goblins? Are they selling them?
No, it's rewards for rounding them up.
Yeah, I think people just like find them.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, Geppetto sells his son, but like that might just be an anomaly.
Yeah, I think
You
some
don't own children. Wait, do you? What is parenthood?
Maybe
He
legally
made
you
him
do.
out of wood that he probably bought.
Yeah, I think when it's a wooden toy you've made, you probably do own it.
These little wooden puppets.
And then
That's 5 shillings for the possessed
toy.
Yes.
And then we're introduced to Donkey.
Oh,
So good.
Eddie Murphy. Killing it.
What's Eddie Murphy doing now? What's Cameron Diaz doing? What are any of these people doing now? They
Where
peaked
are they now?
with this film.
Eddie Murphy really I mean, obviously all the characters are great, but Eddie Murphy carries so much of all of those films. Wow.
He had such a good career as an animated animal, being lovely.
Yes.
And then when I went round to someone's house, like, a few years after this came out, they were like, let's watch Norbit. And I had no idea what it was. I remember watching it like, we're all better than this. We're
Actually,
all
you know
like...
what? Very similar Mike Myers energy. Like, a very, like, actually kind of filthy, weird, like, adult film. And then this, like, a great success in a children's film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, what's the other thing that... Is it called Daddy Daycare? That film where he's like...
Oh, yeah.
I love Daddy Daycare.
Oh, he's very good in that. But then I guess also for kids.
What a film.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love
But
that.
yes.
And there's this old woman who's with the donkey and is like, this is a talking donkey. I'm going to sell him. And they're like, oh yeah? Prove it. And she's like, oh, I can't.
And then, yeah, Donkey,
like a weird thing
genius,
of her.
just doesn't say anything. Great move.
Yeah.
So good.
Although it takes very little to make him talk after that.
Yes.
And then someone kicks the fairy dust. A side note, is Peter Pan selling Tinkerbell?
I think that might be what's happening.
Oh, no. Wow.
You would, wouldn't you? She's a bit of a prick.
Get rid of her.
And then the fairy dust spills on Donkey and he flies away-ish. Momentarily.
Yeah.
Briefly, yeah.
And they're like, after him. Get him.
Chase.
Chase.
And then he runs into Shrek and
Yeah.
Shrek's like, I'll save you. And I'm like, yes, protect me. In your big arms, please. I think my attraction to Shrek was kind of formulated from my own imagination rather than being specifically grounded in this film.
Isn't that
Makes
always
sense.
the way, though? You know?
Yeah. I had some great fantasies about me and Shrek from the age of 5. Anyway, Shrek chases them away, or roars them away.
Yeah.
And then him and Donkey are walking down, and Donkey's like, let's be friends!
My
Shrek's
favourite
like,
line
"No."
is this bit where he's like, what am I? And he's like, really tall.
Yeah, and you get that, like, upward chin shot of Shrek.
Yeah.
So good.
And he's like, it's no wonder you don't have any friends. And I'm like, big mood. I relate to Shrek. I think Shrek is a reclusive queer who is out for justice.
100%.
I will later make a point with his, like, actually, fuck it, let's do it now, because they're going back to his. When he makes the candle out of his own weird ear, like, his own, was it? Earwax. I'm like, Shrek is a really wholesome cottagecore lesbian who's really into crafts.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Who just wants to be left alone.
I put cute little gross house dinner for that bit where it's just like a lovely but also horrible meal that he just like makes for himself, and he has this it breaks my heart, but it's so
I've definitely eaten that meal in Shoreditch.
Yes.
that's big
He
slug.
has mushy peas.
Homemade candles.
Yeah.
There's a little conspiracy theory I have. I think I've read it somewhere, but like I'm here with a Shrek conspiracy theory. You're all welcome. Where they're walking down the path and Donkey's like, "What's your name?" And Shrek goes, Shrek." And the theory is that he has been so alone his whole life that he's never had a name, and he just picks a name out of thin air.
Oh my god.
That's so
'Cause he's never
upsetting.
spoken to people.
He is the anti-hero.
And it does come back as well, that theory.
Oh.
God,
tragic.
that is heartbreaking.
Wow. This is a
Also,
lot deeper
Donkey's
than I
really
thought.
negative. Donkey's really negative about the house. And I'm like, I quite like this house. This is quite picturesque.
It's a
I
cool
live in
house.
Airbnb.
Cute, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a
I-
big chimney feature.
I do think the quick turnaround to "that's a nice boulder" is an absolutely
Iconic.
iconic moment.
Also, Donkey has raised my expectations for house guests because he's like, in the morning, I'm making waffles. So whenever someone stays over,
yeah.
I'm like, where are my waffles?
Yeah.
I wrote the whole thing down. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles. And that's me trying to look mask on Grindr.
Yeah.
Manly stories.
Yeah, manly.
Manly
What
stories.
is a manly story?
Yeah, what's a manly story?
I don't know. I've not been very successful on
I don't
Grindr.
think any of us are qualified to know what a manly story.
Are they, swapping manly stories?
Who amongst us hasn't swapped a manly story?
It's my favourite thing to do. I'm full of manly stories.
And then Shrek's like, sit outside. And then he has his little meal, and he has a little cocktail with an eyeball in it,
Oh yeah.
which is kind of gross, but also like,
Bit
I
camp.
like this.
Yeah.
It's camp. It's certainly
it's camp.
camp. And then he gets a home invasion by the three blind mice, who reminded
more
me
you
of the
think about it,
Beatles.
this is
I
very
don't know why. And is that you, Gordon? How did you know?
Also, I looked it up. Mike Myers plays one of these mice. Did they run out
You're
of actors?
joking.
What's going on?
Let's just get the
Oh shit, we
main
only got
actor.
2 blind mice. We'll need another blind mouse. Mike, come over here. You can do voices.
There are just not enough roles for blind mice in Hollywood.
Exactly.
And then, there's a coffin on the table, and he's like, no, dead broad, off the table.
Yes.
Where are we supposed to put her? The bed's taken. Then, swish the curtain. It's
Wolf!
original trans femme, the big bad wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Do you remember in the second film where, they reenact Prince Charming going to the tallest room of the tallest tower? And, he's about to kiss Fiona and swishes the curtain across it. It's the big bad wolf. Again, what? I love it. Queer icon, the big bad wolf.
Such a queer icon.
Oh, and then he goes outside and sees all of these people. And Baby Bear is sitting next to Daddy Bear on a log, and he's crying. Where's Mummy Bear? She's not there.
Oh my god.
No!
Foreshadowing.
This is
I hate
harrowing.
it.
This film is harrowing.
Yeah. It's all dark.
And then he's like,
I remember.
what are you doing in my swamp? The classic.
Yeah.
The classic line.
Yeah.
Put that on my gravestone, really.
Yeah, and then says he's gonna get rid of them, and they're all like, yeah.
Oh, they put a really camp
flower.
floral cloak.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes! So cute.
and Donkey gets a little hat as well. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And they begin their quest.
Yeah, because Donkey's the only one who knows where Lord Farquaad is, which seems fake, but sure,
Seems really fake when you see also how big that castle is.
it's massive.
Visible for miles around.
Mm-hmm. But they're like, nope.
And then we cut to the castle,
Mm-hmm.
and we got some sinister milk. Which is
That's
my
my
gender.
gender.
And Lord Farquaad's like, where are all the other people? I'm going to torture you, gingerbread man.
I think this scene, the tortured gingerbread man scene, is so genius. The idea that you'd torture a gingerbread man by dunking him in milk. It's like waterboarding him in a glass of milk. And then that whole exchange about the Muffin Man is so good.
So good.
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man!
The Muffin Man!
The Muffin Man!
She's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man!
My lord,
Oh.
we found it. Well, what are you waiting for? Bring it in.
Oh,
He's so
and
camp. I think
Yeah.
he's definitely a closeted... He's the misogynist gay man who's at every club.
yes. Lord, I really want to talk about Lord Farquaad actually, because
Please do.
he was the first thing that I thought of when I was thinking about Shrek as a queer film, because I think there's something about the haircut, the little
Which is
box
very
fringe,
bi girl on Instagram.
very bi girl on Instagram, little short fringe. Also that scene later on, to jump ahead, when we see him in bed, and his bed is this circular bed that's got like an animal print cover. He's got like leather pillows and the hairiest chest, and he's drinking a martini. And I was like, oh my god.
I love that they took the time to animate each individual hair.
Each hair.
They did that.
Each hair. That was important. And it, you know what? They were right to do that.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Correct decision.
But I think that scene is so iconic. I also made a note of the kind of idiot, like, gimp guards that he has.
Yes, Thelonious!
Especially that one. Wow.
Punches a mirror.
Punching the mirror.
Love it.
The ultimate threat. That whole scene is so perfect. And obviously then the blind date scenario that happens in the mirror.
Oh, the magic mirror's camp.
The magic mirror's great. We love the magic mirror.
I love how tawny I think this is another, he must be a closeted gay guy, because they're like, which woman? And he's like, woman? Do we have to go with a woman?
Pick number 3, my lord. And he's holding up 2 fingers. Genius, stupid gimp man. I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
And I should tell you about this little thing that happens at night.
Foreshadowing.
I don't care.
Yeah, he's like,
not going to be
silence.
spending the night with her because he's gay.
I'm like, it's almost as if men listened for 2 seconds to what people have to say, bad things wouldn't happen to them.
Yeah, no, they just go straight ahead. I really also love the things that he says about the princesses. The thing that really passed me by as a child was, she lives with 7 men, but she's not easy. Oh my god! Why don't you kiss her cold, dead lips? Oh my god. So great.
And then Shrek and Donkey are in Duloc.
Yes, they've journeyed.
And they make some dick jokes, which I was never really here for as a child.
No body shaming. No body shaming. Although there's a lot of short jokes as well.
As a child, I was like,
yeah, lolly's so small.
because I was quite a tall child. And I'm not sorry for my distrust of shorter people. And then there's the guy with the big head. And he's
running
like
away.
Farquaad. And it runs,
so
all
good.
the way through the queue.
Oh,
while Shrek just
Shrek
walks through.
yes.
I feel
like Duloc is the ultimate, like, white picket fence neighborhood. To me, I was like, this is heteronormative. I'm gonna say it. You look at it and you're like, it's pristine. It's performative. It's quiet and silent. Where is everyone?
It's too quiet. Yeah. Until they pull the information handle.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Da 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 da.
Welcome to
Also, every original song in this film begins with da 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 da. And it's amazing.
And after this really annoying little song, Donkey's such an eager bisexual. He's like, let's do that again. I'm like, no.
Please
Stop
keep
it.
off the grass, shine your shoes, wipe your
face.
face.
Yes. It's the ultimate. It's timeless. Have you guys ever seen Nacho Libre? Because the exact same joke is in it, and I find it as funny. It's I ate some bugs, I ate some grass, I used my hand to wipe my tears. It just never gets old. It never gets old. Then we get, you're going the right way for a smacked bottom, which I imagine a young Kate enjoy.
Yes. How did you know?
Yes.
Oh, no, I think he'd be ever so rough with Shrek. I don't know if I like that. Because he's very strong. And I don't think I'm a delicate flower. Which I don't know if is the right combination. I think we'd have a very toxic relationship, but I'd always go back.
But you're still into it.
Yeah.
No qualms here.
Anyway, we're in the tournament. Or
Yes.
the tournament, as they say.
Tournament.
And then he's like, we need a champion to rescue this princess, slay the dragon, whatever. Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. And I'm like,
It's the government.
It's the Tory government.
Yes,
Yes!
it's Boris.
It's them handling the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Herd immunity.
And then Shrek turns up, and Farquaad goes, Farquaad, by the way, is that a pun on fuckwad?
Maybe.
Have I blown your minds?
I hope so.
It must be. It feels like that's exactly the sort of vibe that the writers have.
Yeah.
And it's very much the right era as well for
Yeah.
fuckwad, because no one says fuckwad anymore.
Is Shrek the film where the writers worked for Disney and then they got fired and made their own film, or am I thinking of something else?
I think so. And
In
they're like,
which
we're gonna
case-
just parody fairy
Oh
tales.
shit, hang on, I'm trying to remember. Wasn't Farquaad based on someone who worked at Disney? I swear it was.
Oh, that's
My-
a personal attack.
Another
I love that.
conspiracy
I'm Googling
theory.
that immediately.
Oh, I feel like I've heard that. I don't know. I'm not willing to check it, but, you know. I'm just here to make claims.
I like how Shrek turns up and Farquaad goes, what's that? It's hideous. And Shrek's like, that's not very nice. It's just
Just
a
a
donkey.
donkey. Yeah.
I've just had a quick Google, and apparently it's based on the Disney CEO.
Not rumours! I'm speaking facts. Speaking truth to power.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Petty filmmaking, my favourite
Yeah,
kind.
you know what? I'm gonna make a multi-million-dollar film just
Oscar winner.
to insult.
Yeah, it's gonna win Oscars. Just to piss off one man. I can see us doing that.
This was when Disney was having its slump, wasn't it? In the early noughties. So they were like, ha 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 ha, we're the new animation studio in town. Forget that we made Ants. Just forget that.
Oh no.
But here's some Shrek for your nerve. And then they're like, change your plan, kill the ogre, please. And it's a fucking Joan Jett song.
It's great. That's kind of queer. By definition, a fight scene to Joan
yeah.
Jett.
Yeah, I must just a moment to think about just all of the soundtrack as well, like that kind of like punky American early 2000s like garage band vibe that just keeps popping up. Oh, I love it. I was thinking about like Freaky Friday. Just it gives me like real Lindsay Lohan like strumming her guitar and like wearing like a studded like I don't know necklace. Oh, I love that energy. I love it.
The chair, give him the chair. I love it.
Yeah, and all those women who are like screaming.
I think the woman who says the chair, give him the chair, is the same woman that owns Donkey at the start.
Oh my god,
They look identical.
I hope so.
Maybe she's advocating for capital punishment.
Yeah, not that.
Or maybe
chair.
DreamWorks just can't animate women very well.
Maybe.
And then Shrek wins because he flattens everyone with beer barrels and maybe kills them.
Unclear.
They're dead. They're all dead.
Shrek actually murders a lot of people in this film, but
Yeah.
it's just never really addressed.
Anti-hero.
Yeah. Problematic
John Wick.
Hottie.
Shrek. They're one of the same.
And then Farquaad's like, cool, you win, go and get the princess. And he's like, I'll do it for my swamp. And they're like, cool, great.
Yeah.
It's a simple bargain.
Then we
Simple.
have the Shrek Onion TED Talk.
Oh,
Iconic.
It's-
Iconic.
I think possibly the most memorable part of the whole film. Like, I have a very vivid memory of a sleepover with a friend of mine. We must have been like, I don't know, 8 or something. And when the lights had been turned out, the two of us lying in the dark and just quoting word for word the Shrek Onion conversation.
That's amazing.
And that's a very vivid memory for me. It's just so good.
I used to think that I was like a smart child, and having watched this just now, I think I'd interpreted this scene incorrectly.
What did
Because
you
they're like,
think?
ogres are like onions. Ogres have layers. And I was like, okay, so if you rip the skin off an ogre, it's just got the same skin underneath. I did not interpret it on like a metaphorical, emotional level at all. I was like, oh, they just have loads of skin.
Yeah, that's an interesting fact about an ogre.
My favourite bit is when Donkey's like, cake has layers, and he's like, I
Yeah.
don't care what everyone likes, which I've definitely seen on Instagram, like, be the onion in a world of cakes. Be you. It's very that. Not literally that, but you know what I mean.
I'm gonna make that.
That
Inspirational
be the
quote.
onion in
Oh
a
my
world
God,
of
please, like,
cakes.
sunset.
Golden Bowel.
Be an onion in a world of
Waves.
cakes. Yes.
And then he goes on about parfait, and I
Yeah.
have no idea what parfait is. Apparently, it's the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet.
I
but
also
I couldn't
remember
tell you.
not knowing what a parfait was. I believe it's like a layered ice cream. It's like
Yeah,
a
I just
Nickelback
think of it-
Glory, isn't it?
I think of it like a wet cake.
Okay. I don't think any of us know.
Might be wrong, but I'm just saying what I'm thinking.
Be the wet cake in a world of onions. And then they have a travel montage to the Proclaimers.
I'm on my way. Oh, so good.
Uh-huh,
Beautiful sunsets.
uh-huh.
That's where you could put onions and cakes. Oh, lovely.
I think this is a lot of these songs would have been the first time that I ever heard them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
same.
The monkeys
Hallelujah.
at the end. Yes.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
Monkeys, this song, Proclaimers, some absolute bobs. And then
Yeah.
Shrek 2, Holding Out for a Hero.
Oh.
By Jennifer Saunders.
Oh, so good.
Well, not by Jennifer Saunders, sung by Jennifer Saunders.
And of course, Living La Vida Loca. There's so much going
Oh.
on in Shrek
Yes.
2.
So good.
But the last song, my fun Shrek fact is that the I'm in Love at the end is a cover that is also sung by, wait for it, Smash Mouth. It is the second Smash Mouth track of the film.
Oh.
I am agog.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
aghast.
They're back.
She brought
I love
facts.
that.
Wow.
Listen, just that one.
You are the most prepared guest we've ever had. This is amazing.
I actually prepared that separately for a quiz that I did. That was a great Zoom quiz question.
That's a very good Zoom quiz question.
Love
What's the other Smash Mouth track? Everyone was like losing their minds. I was like, well,
I am stealing that.
chaos.
Because none of my friends listen to this podcast, so I can use all of these facts again. And then they're at the bridge, or at the castle, and there's like the lava emote. And they say something about donkeys having sleeves. That's
Yeah.
the main line I remember from this
Oh
scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also really
Donkeys
like
don't have sleeves.
just an honourable mention for Shrek's dad jokes as well that just crop up all through the film. He's such a dad that when they arrive, he's like, "Great size. Shame about the location."
Yes.
I think
And
he may have
honestly-
uncovered
He's a dad.
maybe a lot of the reasoning.
Kate, daddy issues Butch.
Here they come, bubbling up.
Like the lava. Wow, what a metaphor that scene is.
It's perfect. So good.
Let your daddy issues bubble up like lava.
The castle
That's
is,
another inspirational
is your
quote for
burgeoning
you.
sexuality, and the lava is daddy issues.
The floor is daddy issues.
The floor is daddy issues. Honestly though, this castle is camp. I love it. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's
the
great.
Wizard of Oz castle walked so this castle could run. Quite frankly. It's camp.
And they're crossing the bridge to get there. And this is where I'm like, Shrek would treat you appallingly.
Oh,
because
yeah.
the way that this is filmed, not filmed, the way this is made. How do they get all the cameras above that lava?
Oh my god, that's just struck me. Like,
What?
I've just realised that, I mean, I knew they didn't film it, I knew it was animated, but I've just realised at no point there was an actual camera.
No, yeah, they all. That's the brilliant thing about an animation is that everything that they put in there, somebody decided to put in. Which I
Yeah.
love.
I love that they
Every
put
detail.
when they're like he's really tall and he looked up and there was a lens flare.
Oh,
Genius.
Oh, that's good.
But there's no lens. How can you have a flare when there's no lens?
but there's no lens.
Magic.
Anyway, the camera angles, inverted commas, in this made me feel really sick because he's like swinging the bridge,
swaying, yeah.
and I'm like, ooh.
And he's really not listening to. I mean, I know he does it for Donkey's own good, but there's no boundaries there. He's very much.
No.
This is what I
know.
mean. He'd treat you bad.
He'd treat you bad.
Shrek is the boyfriend who, like, scares you and then's like, haha, you were scared. Yes, because you scared me.
Yeah.
You know those men.
Have you seen that TikTok? There's a woman and she's been making like a 30,000-piece jigsaw. She's about to put the last piece in and her trash boyfriend throws the table over. I was like, this is...
Dump him. Dump him.
This is why men don't deserve rights. Don't just dump him. Bloody deadly women him.
Yeah.
Kill him and get on a documentary.
But also, have you seen
Carol
those
Baskin
TikToks?
that shit.
Have you seen the TikToks of the woman who just randomly tries to attack her bodybuilder boyfriend? That's great. Like, she's tiny and she just runs and jumps at him and he's like, no, and just like puts her down. Yeah, that's great.
And then they're off the bridge and he goes, that'll do, donkey. That'll do. And I'm like, we should watch Babe.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I was thinking that because then also at the end when Gingy, the gingerbread man, with his little crutch goes, God bless us, one and all. And I'm like, that's just a line from the Christmas Carol. Like, half of Shrek is just lines from the films. Which I love.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, this was just a revenge plot on their ex-boss. They weren't really concerned about making a good film.
Yeah.
And they're in the castle wandering around. They're seeing all the dead people.
Yes.
And they're like, you go and look for the princess, donkey. She'll be in the tallest room of the tallest tower. I read it in a book once. And then he's going to go and find the dragon.
Donkey's like, you handle the dragon, I'll handle the stairs. And I was like, that's me taking responsibility in any situation. Just, I'll handle the stairs, don't you guys worry.
I've got this. I've got it.
But he finds the dragon.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
We got to talk about the dragon. I mean, I've written down dragon is a powerful pink bitch. In my notes.
Yeah.
I think she's
You're right.
incredible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
At first I was like, this is an overreaction, maybe don't murder a person. It's very much the energy of, you know, when you hear an American talking about, if the postman steps foot on my garden, I will shoot them. And I'm like, that's not, okay. But then I was like, nah, these men are annoying and they're in her presence.
They're in her presence. And also, you got to think about all those previous men who've literally arrived and tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be like, you know what? Fair enough, she's on edge. You know?
Yeah. She's had a tough many years, decade. I don't know how long has this kid been there. Yeah.
My
And
favourite
her,
thing
like-
about the dragon is that she's in the musical. She's played by like 5 pink bitches, like a chorus.
Oh, great.
What, like in Hercules?
Yeah, and they're all
Ooh.
like different. Like one of them's the eyes, and then one of them's the fire. And it's like,
Oh wait, like
"Donkey
in a
Pie
like a
Pie."
panto horse.
No, no. It's like more, I think it's more artistic than that. But there's puppetry. They're not just going to have 5 women there in like pink leather jackets, being like, "We're going to fuck you up." You need like
That's my Thursday night, but sure. Honestly, though, the dragon picking up Donkey by his tail and just carrying him off, like swinging him around, I was like, this is feminism, right? This is shorthand. Yeah.
And her eye makeup, my god, the lashes.
lipstick.
What mascara are you using, please?
I think she's got a lash lengthener on there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
One of those like you've got 3 different wands, and you've got to mix and match. Love that.
100%.
And then she flings Shrek into the tower, and he crashes through. And then he like approaches Princess Fiona, and it's
This
like
is the best bit.
sweeping music, and then he's like, "Wake up!" That's my favourite thing.
Can we please talk about the way Cameron Diaz delivers her first line? It's really weird, because he's like, "Are you Princess Fiona?" And she's like, "I am!" It's so weird.
Me and my sister, we re-quote this line to each other all the time. I'm so glad you picked up on it, because I was like, I'm going to be the only prick chatting about her going, "I am!"
I am! It's so weird, right? I thought I was the only person as well. Ah, we're so in sync.
I am!
I am! Oh,
And then
bizarre.
they run down the stairs. It's like, "We're going to save you." He's like, "Can I at least know your name?" And then he goes, "It's, oh fuck, what did I say to the donkey? It's, Shrek."
Oh, I
And I'm like,
see.
Ooh.
I actually love that as a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's tragic. It's heartbreaking.
It's
Well, we're
very-
learning that this
very
film in
sad.
general is heartbreaking.
in the musical, it starts off with him as a little child ogre, and he's got parents, and the parents are like, now, you're 7, so according to ogre tradition, it's not Fiddler on the Roof, but he's like, according to ogre tradition, you have to leave us and make a life on your own. And I'm like, he is 7, it's his birthday.
Oh,
on his birthday! Oh
and there's a song like,
goodbye.
it's a big, bright, beautiful world with happiness all around. It's peaches and cream, and every dream comes true, but not for you.
Oh my god.
Is Shrek
I need
queer?
to see this musical.
As in the character, because that is a queer story being thrown
Well,
out
I
of the
hope
house.
so.
I mean, for you,
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
you're invested, you're biased. Like,
But I would very much recommend listening to the soundtrack, because there is a great song that's coming up that I will. And they do a whole production number based around Welcome to Duloc.
Oh,
Nice.
great. Good.
Da 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 da. Oh, and then he's like, she's like, where are you going? He's like, I have to save my ass. And I'm like,
Yeah.
a pun!
Yeah.
A pun!
yeah.
Oh, I love that. And
And
then
he's
when he like swings into save Donkey and Dragon literally kisses his ass.
I was
Visual
jealous.
representation of that
Of the
gag. Loved it.
I'm not saying I want to rim Shrek, but I'm not saying I want to rim Shrek.
No,
I don't think any of
comment.
us are in any doubt that you want to rim Shrek. That was assumed from the off.
He's got a nice bum, what can I say?
He does have quite a peachy butt.
He does.
I bet it's like caked in shit though. I'm
It
sorry to
was-
take
For
it,
fuck's
everybody, but
I
ogres
thought
are like
you were
cakes.
going back to the cakes and the onions or something. I was like, what?
It's a wet cake, is what.
Oh, it's a parfait. A shitty parfait.
I think Shrek's ass might be a parfait, I
Vom.
won't lie.
I'll take it. It's the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet. They run through all the corridors, tangling up the dragon's chains.
Yeah.
And they cross the bridge, or they try to cross the bridge, and the dragon sets it on fire. And they hang. They save it. It's minor peril. And then they get free and they run away, and the dragon's all sad.
Yeah. I have a question. How'd she get free? Because she turns up again.
I was wondering that. By that river, she's just there.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
tugged a
Donkey
lot.
goes to free her.
When?
I don't know. I'm a Shrek apologist.
Alright, Billy Eichner. Fucking hell.
To be fair, all she has to do is take that sword out the chain, so she probably just worked that out.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah, she's a smart lady.
she's a
Girl boss.
woman in
And then-
business.
Yeah. And the business
there-
is murder.
And then they're at this in the clearing, and she's like, "Go on, take your helmet off." And he's like, "I don't want to." And I'm like, "Can you not already see that he's green?
He's definitely, yeah, he's green.
Yeah.
Get those sausagey fingers off me!" You can see it in his fingers.
His green hands.
Yeah.
Don't you point those dirty great sausages at me! That's the line.
I will actually concede that, and I don't know what this says about me, this probably needs some unpacking, but when he takes his helmet off and he's like really like ashy, hot, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Is this Stockholm syndrome, Kathy? Have we just been told enough times that he's hot? That now we're like,
yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, but I see that in that moment. I think my favourite line in that bit is when he goes, "I'm a delivery boy."
Then grabs her
whacks
and
her over.
throws
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So
Fine.
good.
Again,
That's
he'd treat you wrong, and you'd thank him.
And you love it.
Yeah. And then they're walking along, and she's like, "Oh, the sun's setting. Maybe we should camp out somewhere."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm scarier than anything you'll find in this forest." And I'm like, "You have yet to meet the camp Robin Hood and his merry men." But they find a camp, and she hides in a cave so she can transform into an ogre, but we don't know that yet.
We don't know.
I
Is he
mean,
an ogre
we
eye?
kind of do, but sure.
Oh yeah, you see her peeking out, and she's a bit
Yeah.
green.
Yeah.
And then they sit in front of the big moon, and this bit in the musical, I think it's the end of Act 1, it's a song called Who I'd Be. It is heartbreaking. It is about, like, what, like, if I could be someone else, who would I be?
That
I love
sounds
that-
queer.
Yeah, and I love that the musical just, like, unpacks fully all the subtle implications of the film.
Yeah.
But
If you listen to the song, the lyrics are so, like, beautiful. It's only until, like, 2.5 minutes in where he says the word ogre,
Right,
you're like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
this is from Shrek the Musical. Like, this could be
Yeah.
from any, like,
that
sad musical.
that bit where he says, what does he say? Something like, I don't have a problem with the world has a problem with me. Oh. Oh my gosh. He's talking about keeping everyone out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we fly over to Lord Farquaad's bedroom,
The bachelor pad.
and
And that chest hair.
the rug on his floor
No.
is the mummy bear,
No.
which is why the baby's crying at the start, because
Oh my
Is
god.
it definitely the mummy bear, or is it just
she's got
a
the
bear?
bow.
No, 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 no.
I actually have just had like a shiver, like a full body.
You look so pleased with yourself, Kate.
Thank you.
You're like, trauma.
And he's watching videos of Princess Fiona, and he's definitely jerking off under that
Yeah.
like, zebra print.
No, I think
duvet.
he's trying to jerk off, but
Yeah.
he's not into it. He's like, I just like my bedspread and interior design.
He's got a martini with
Yeah.
an olive in. That's like
Maybe
parallel.
him and Shrek
Yeah.
would be a better couple. They're both into
They could do
cocktail.
cocktails
Cocktail
together.
quiz. Stanley Tucci. Anyway, he's not quit. Anyway.
I have. This will come as a surprise to nobody. I have the licensed Shrek 2 version of Uno, Shrek Tuno, and there is one of the cards. I think it's number 4. It's Shrek like making a cocktail, and there's one of like Shrek having a barbecue. It's a great time.
I
Love
need
that.
that in my life.
Do you play that like The Sims? Do you like put it out like, that's me and Shrek at our barbecue? Then he's making me dinner.
They're actually just like framed on the wall. This is our
Yeah.
first date.
And I've got it's in a little tin, commemorative tin, and this is like such a throwback. It has my name and then year 6 penciled into it, and it's like from when it was the last day of school, and you could take in games,
take
and the
your
game
Uno
that
in.
I took in was Shrek Tuno, because I am messed up. But anyway, it's the morning,
Yay!
and Fiona's screaming at birds.
She
Gonna
murders
expose
a
that
bird
bird,
for
yeah.
eggs, and I was like, you can just take the eggs, right? You don't have to kill things for eggs. Like, they make more.
It dies a horrible death. That bird.
Yeah.
Also, this bird is sitting on the eggs,
Uh-huh.
and so clearly these eggs have been fertilized because it's incubated the eggs. So why does she crack open the eggs and it's not got some like weird like embryo bird
Baby. Oh my god.
baby?
That would be so dark. Maybe it's
I
early
think
days.
it's early enough. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's early.
Nasty.
Very nasty.
That's why I'm a vegan.
Did
yes,
this
the
film
bird,
make you
like-
a vegan? That's the question.
It would though, wouldn't
Like
it? We'll get to
the
some of
The
the
original
food
real
culture
character
rating.
I empathise with
Yeah.
is the bird.
To be fair, the treatment of animals in this, including those balloons that they make,
What?
Atrocious.
I'm sure Peter
Vom.
would be outraged.
They would.
Mm.
Exploding birds, blowing up snakes.
Terrible.
Eating that slug.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, God, that slug.
That slug would be horrible. Wait, eat knives and forks. Oh, oh, horrid.
We meet
then-
incel Robin Hood.
Da 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 da.
Why is he French?
I
didn't
love
realise
it
this was
so
him.
much.
He's from Nottingham.
He's famously from
And then they
Nottingham.
do Riverdance. They really got their
Monsieur
nationalities
Hood.
confused.
Oh.
And then they do West Side Story clicking.
Yes,
Yep.
very, very good.
I steal from the rich and give to the needy. It takes a wee percentage, but
He's
I'm
not
not greedy.
gritty. Oh.
And then Fiona does some mixed martial arts, like she's straight out of the Matrix.
She knocks a man out with her hair. It's so like, that's why her hair's so big. It's full of lead.
It's actually just like a truncheon.
Yeah.
I do love that. Just when she takes him out and she's like, that was so annoying. And you're like, yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
That man.
Yeah. Also,
and she
I
punches
probably...
Friar Tuck through an accordion.
This scene, I'm probably like, yeah, Fiona's hot. Before that, I found her a bit annoying. But here, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, she's cool. This is when...
Kill.
It's also, hey, listen, it's also the moment that Shrek starts to see it.
I'm Shrek.
You're... That's layered.
I'm a parfait.
And they're like, you've got an arrow in your butt. And they send Donkey to find a blue flower, red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns.
This would be so
which
much
is like when
easier
you've
if I
got a
wasn't
child.
colourblind.
It's like when you've got a child and you need it to do something and you're like, I'll time you.
Yeah.
Yes.
The amount of things I did just because someone told me that they'd time me is
Fully agree.
unfathomable. Oh, and then they have a nice little moment after they've ripped out the... Quit with the yanking! Which is not something I'd be saying to Shrek.
More yanking.
Yank.
And then they have My Beloved Monster by Eels. The song. My beloved monster and me.
Oh yeah, great montage. Great montage, that one.
Very cute.
And they threw the sticks through the cobwebs and they eat it like candy floss. They blow up the frog and the snake into balloon animals. Vomit. And then they gaslight Donkey.
Yeah.
Oh
This
yeah.
was so
What's that thing? Oh my god, what's it called? Is it Munchausen? That thing where you pretend that somebody has an illness. Which I feel is exactly what happens.
Yeah. It
You
makes
do
sense
look
why
really
Fiona
ill.
does it, because Fiona's like, I can't be seen, whereas
Yeah.
Shrek's like, yeah, let's fuck with this animal.
Yeah. Yeah, he just
Do they
gets
just
on board.
want another night together? They just want to prolong the going back.
Yeah,
Because they
maybe.
see, oh, it's the castle. Oh, we're gonna be gone forever. But yeah, I think Shrek is kind of into it just for fucking with the donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they eat some
Have dinner.
rats.
And she's like, this is delicious, what is it? And he's like, weed rat, rotisserie style. And I'm like, yeah, he gave you a
Clearly.
rat on a stick.
Yeah.
Why are you surprised by that?
Where were you when he was cooking it? Like, did you not see him
Yeah.
catch the rats?
It looks like a rat. Like, it's
Yeah,
really a rat.
she is eating
It's
a
a
rat.
rat.
Unless, like, Duloc's really into, I don't know, tofu rat-shaped meat substitutes. It's a fucking, as I always say, a rat on a stick is a rat on a stick. The famous saying.
And then it's about to be the sunset, so she runs inside.
Yeah.
To
They almost have a
transform.
kiss.
They do.
Escandalo.
But Shrek won't tell her how he feels. And I'm like, just tell her, Shrek. She feels the same way.
It's the
Or
classic
leave her
fallout.
and be with
I was
me.
going to say, why would you be happy about that?
In this scenario, imagine myself as Princess Fiona, because at night, I do transform into a horrible, horrible, ugly woman, and her name is Kate Butch. The only difference is that I get paid for it, and Fiona is in a tower. And then Donkey meets Ogre Fiona.
Yes. You ate the princess!
Fioga, if you will.
Fioga! Amazing.
Yoga's good. My question has always been, how does her dress also change size? It's such a...
It's velvet, and the most common velvet you can get is stretch velvet. I thought about this at the time, and I was like, oh, she's got that good velour.
Just like a really good stretchy dress.
You know, from H&M, those good stretchy H&M
Good stretchy
dresses.
bodycon, yeah.
Yeah.
One size fits all.
God, I lived in those age like 15. That's
Same.
nostalgic.
Yeah. But it's basically
That
just like a
was
big t-shirt.
fashion.
So short.
Yes.
Oh man.
And we learn about Fiona's curse, like a witch cursed her that, like, at night she'd turn into an ogre. Donkey's like, get with Shrek, you look the same now.
That's not a
And she's
reason to
like-
fuck someone, but sure, Donkey,
Yeah.
go off.
There were also moments where I was like, the message of the film overall is so nice and like, be yourself. But when Donkey's like, I'm not gonna lie, you are pretty ugly, but like, hey, Shrek's ugly the whole time. At least you're ugly like this at night. And I was like, okay, the message seems to be getting a little lost here.
Yeah.
Quite harsh from Donkey, that, actually.
Yeah.
And Shrek's practicing his chat lines with a little sunflower.
It's cute.
I got this because you're pretty, but I like you even though you're pretty, whatever. And he overhears Fiona talking about herself, saying, who could love something so hideous and ugly? And I'm like, you've got the wrong end of the stick!
This could have been so much simpler if they just communicated. Like all films, if he just went, I'm upset with you for this reason. Oh, just communicate, lads. Communicate. Although we love a donkey that takes responsibility for his mental health, because he's like, I'm gonna need some serious therapy after this, and I'm like, yes, donkey.
Very good.
Yes,
very
it's
good.
a shame.
He says, what's the point in being able to talk if you have to keep secrets? And I'm like, donkey's queer. We can agree.
Donkey is bi. I said it.
But also, really, he does keep a secret, and it's so beautiful. There are many moments where actually, arguably, it probably would just be easier if he said.
Yes.
When they're like going to the wedding, and Donkey's like, there's a thing that I can't tell you about, but don't worry. There.
Yeah. He's like, why don't you ask her yourself? I'm like, no. Don't like stop a wedding for something that might be the case.
Yeah.
Establish the facts first.
And then the next morning, Fiona's like, I'm gonna tell him. He loves me not. And I'm like, do you remember when you rested your whole dating career on how many petals a flower had?
Yeah. Yeah.
Count them first. Make sure you'll get the right answer. That's what you should do.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Cheat the system.
Yeah, tactical flower picking.
Your self-created system.
It's a queer move.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I need to talk to you. And he's like, nah, fuck off.
Communicate.
You don't want anything to do with me. Piss off. And then Lord Farquaad arrives in his fake legs. And I'm like, fake legs that's a queer thing.
Yeah.
Fake legs, yeah. Oh. And I just put fringe again. I feel like it's one of the fringe in that scene is just so wow.
And he's like, can't wait to get married tomorrow. And she's like, no, let's get married today, please. Quick, now, married now, yes, please.
Fiona, Christ.
Yeah.
Changing her mind left, right and centre. Fickle bitch.
Oh, and then Shrek shouts at Donkey. He's like, go fuck yourself. I'm going back to my swamp by myself because nobody loves me and I'm sad and I'm probably heterosexual because I'm reacting in this way, which is fine. It's super fine. I don't mind it at all. And then we get
Hallelujah.
the iconic Alexandra Burke's Hallelujah.
Yeah.
It's not her. Do you remember when she invented the phrase elephant in the room? And I was like, it's Rufus Wainwright, because like I've listened to the soundtrack and it's Rufus Wainwright on the soundtrack. But this is not Rufus. And this is some queer erasure that I will not accept.
Who is
it? The
like
Jeff
a
Buckley
worse
one?
version.
Whose is it?
I
think it's Jeff Buckley, but like
Jeff?
the arrangement's kind of weird.
Or it was someone else. I thought it was Jeff.
God, I
was like,
bet
it's
it's
Rufus.
bloody
No, it's
Smash
Jeff.
Mouth again.
But it's some person who I've never heard of, who I don't think had a Wikipedia page.
Who's... It's not even easy to Google. Well, maybe we'll never know.
Well, listeners, you're going to have to Google it yourself. Take
Yep.
some responsibility for yourself. And everyone's looking sad in mirrors and like...
Yeah, that
eating
sunflower
alone.
thrown into the flames. Wow.
Oh,
Oh, man.
and like 6-year-old me was like, I feel that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
sad. It's so
And
sad.
Donkey sees the dragon. Don't know how she gets there.
Dragon's crying. Oh. But they talk it out.
See, that great communication.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you remember in Shrek the Third or Shrek 2, one of the Shreks, where the dragon and the donkey breed
Mm.
Yeah.
and they're little horrible mutants?
How dare you? They're adorable.
Donkeys with
But do
like
you
little
also
wings,
remember-
yeah.
Do you remember the Nintendo DS game Shrek, Ogres and Dronkeys?
No, I cannot say.
No. I had the PC
Because-
game Shrek 2. Shrek 2, yeah, that was good. But impossible. Very hard. Are we discovering
Because-
that you have...
I'm just
All
going to root
Shrek
through my little...
memorabilia ever.
There she is. Oh, there's also a flushed away game. That's her there. Shrek, Ogres and Dronkeys. And basically,
Donkeys.
you had to look after the little baby ogres and the little baby dronkeys. There was no plot or anything, but they were just a fucking liability, and you had to keep
So
them
it's like-
entertained.
It's like a weird, grotesque Nintendogs.
Exactly, and you had to like wipe their asses.
They're parfait butts.
And I was obsessed with it. And I'm not going to apologise for that. I probably
not.
should, but I'm not going to. Anyway,
So yeah, Donkey's
Donkey's
building
like-
a little wall.
yeah,
wall.
I'm here for half your swamp. I did half the work, I'm having half the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a fair point, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
business
Fair
queer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girl
And then-
boss donkey.
Donkey kind of semi-explains the whole thing. He's like,
Sort of,
she wasn't talking about you. She was kind of talking about someone else. Like, we need. To
I
go
can't tell
to-"
you.
And then, I mean, we were going on about how good the animation was, but there's this really stilted bit where Shrek like slaps his hands to his face and goes, "Oh, the wedding." And I was like, this is a bit. It's not as smooth as the rest of the film.
No, no.
How dare you? This is Oscar worthy.
Well, it certainly is. What was it against? I'm gonna Google that.
I know
you gonna-
that I believe the animated film Dinosaurs came out in the same year. Which
That's a great
Ooh.
film.
I love.
Aladar.
What was
Right,
it
I'm gonna
against?
Google Oscar for Best Animated Movie.
I still kind of can't believe that well, I mean, of course I can
This
believe that it won an
film-
Oscar, but wow.
Beat Monsters Inc.
What?
Oh no, I agree with that.
It's been a while since I saw Monsters Inc. But
I mean, I think they're both incredible films, but
similar themes.
very true actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a film about two gay dads.
Oh my god, very true.
It also beat Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, which I think is
That's-
fair enough. Which we have been meaning to review for about 45 episodes, but she just keeps getting shafted. Like, poor Jimmy.
I don't really care about Jimmy. He seems like an annoying boy.
He is. And that's what I kind of
I'll
related
just
to
hurt
back
him.
when I was
I'll just
annoyed.
say he's a cunt like I always do.
And then they're like, let's go to the wedding. Dragon
Dragon
takes them.
appears. Women are truly amazing. Oh.
Yeah.
Although, when they get there, Donkey's like, if we need you, we'll whistle. And I'm like, baby, don't let him, like, use you like this.
Oh, but I do like that he's like, you go have fun, and she like runs after all those soldiers, and I was like,
Yeah.
what is the implication here that she's gonna just like destroy Julock?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Good.
love
and
it.
she should.
Given your white picket fence theory, like, that's queer.
Tear it down. Tear
Yeah.
it down.
Burn it to a crisp. Some of you may die.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that donkey putting his bits in the dragon.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's not the other way around, because that donkey
Oh.
would be dead.
That would be
Um,
horrible.
But it's just an interesting image that I think I was burdened with from too young an age.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's fine, their babies are cute.
Baby's that cute.
And Donkey's like, you gotta wait for the speak now or forever hold your peace line. Do you want to hold her? Please! Then you got to try
Yeah.
a little tenderness.
Ugh.
So good.
And then Shrek's just tossing Donkey in the air.
Throwing him up and down.
Trying to, he can toss me. What? They're like, I can't see the vicar speaking. Don't know what it is. And Shrek's like, fuck this, and bursts in. And I like that Shrek goes, I object. And then the vicar just closes his book and leaves.
Yeah. Thank God. I'm off.
The vicar's queer.
Oh, God, I've been waiting for this.
I do not need to be involved in this drama. Get me out of here.
Yeah,
That's not very queer, actually.
Old priest.
A queer would be like, close the book, open the popcorn.
Yeah, chair.
The vicar's like, this is some heterosexual nonsense. I'm done. Bye-bye.
You guys just fucking sort it out. I'll be over here.
Yeah.
And then the sun sets.
She transforms.
And
Shrek's like, that explains a lot. And I was like, yes, this could have been over a lot easier if you just communicated.
Yeah.
you know what else would have explained a lot? Explaining.
Yeah, it's true. Communicate.
And then the guards go for them.
Yeah.
And actually
very
do
dramatic.
restrain them, which I was surprised by how successful the guards were in this scene compared to previous guards. I guess they're emotionally very fraught. I think it's a tough time.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been training these past 2 days.
Yeah, the guards. I love that since the last time the guards have been really working hard to up their game because they were so bad the first time.
As a kid, this scene was I was fraught watching this.
The hands, when the hands.
Yeah, and you
can't
know
reach
it's so
them.
close to the end, and you're like, is this gonna be a sad ending?
Yeah.
No.
No.
So upsetting.
And
But
then
never fear, dragon's back. Nom.
Nom just
eats him.
straight down.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Nom. Oh, I love it.
I'm a donkey on the edge.
I'm talking on the edge. Yeah.
And then they kiss. And Fiona transforms. She just gets lifted up.
It's just
And-
really, you guys are Doctor Who fans, right? Because it's truly just a regeneration. I was watching it and I was like, this is
Yeah.
exactly the same.
and it's that
true.
shit one when David Tennant regenerated back into David Tennant.
Yes.
Exactly. It's like, really nothing's happened.
And then Fiona's like, I don't understand. I'm supposed to be beautiful. And Shrek looks at her and he goes, but you are beautiful. And I'm like, I'm just going to screen record those few seconds of Shrek looking right in the camera and saying you are beautiful. And I'm going to just keep them for myself.
Just keep that, yeah.
He also says, I love you. And I was like, you've known her for 3 days, but go off, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
Also, she's a bit of trash, to be honest. She's really annoying. I don't like Princess Fiona. I might have like some kind of vested interest in the fact that I don't like Princess Fiona. Potentially.
I think this is
I'm
called
biased.
bitterness.
Vitriol. And then we get
Good.
and Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
The reprise, yeah.
I think this whole scene with all the fairy tale creatures like dancing and having a lovely time, I think this is what Americans think Eurovision is.
Weird creatures.
Yeah,
Just
they're doing a
having fun.
can-can at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, pretty much.
And then they get married. It's a cute time. They're getting a pumpkin coach. Oh no, an onion coach.
Onion. Oh,
Yes.
oh, I never even put that together. Wow.
Well, because if you
they're
rip a skin
onions.
off Shrek, he's got more skin underneath.
He's a carriage, yeah.
He's a carriage.
Yeah.
With skin on.
You can ride him into the sunset, Kate.
And the dragon catches the bouquet, and Gingy says, God bless us, everyone. And from my extensive watching of the VHS of Shrek as a child, I was like, okay, I'm ready for what comes next. And it fucking didn't. So I had to seek it out for myself.
What comes next?
Do you know- It's the Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party.
Oh my god, yes!
And I'm gonna take things low. Don't go changing. I made it through the first time I heard Like a Virgin from this film.
Was that a DVD extra?
I think
Is that-
it is on
Yeah.
the DVD. You have to seek it out yourself.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
on this Shrek 2 DVD, you can watch Far Far Away Idol.
Yes.
With actual Simon Cowell. Yeah.
Actual
Simon
yeah.
Cowell. These boots are made for walking.
For a
Yeah.
wagon. Yeah. And oh
So
yeah.
good.
I watched that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But the Shrek in the Swamp Karaoke Dance Party is iconic. It's got like Who Let the Dogs Out with the Big Bad Wolf and Lord Farquaad's inside the belly going, staying alive, staying alive. It's so good.
That's great.
I'm actually just going to watch that in my own time.
I'd recommend.
It's on my to-do list.
And
So
then
that's the end of the film. Oh wait, there's more.
I remember just now, Gingy sings "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" to Thelonious the Guard, who's like dunked him in the milk.
Oh my god.
Sensational work. That's the end. Yes,
good.
that's the end.
Yeah.
What a film.
So
I'm glad we watched it.
yes, the main questions though, is it camp?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
there
I mean-
anything in it that isn't? Is my question, actually.
Very true.
The only reason for me saying this isn't super camp is because of the inclusion of Jennifer Saunders as the fairy godmother in Shrek 2.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, this is camp, but like, if you want camp,
Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shrek 2.
Yeah.
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 I think the fact that this film was created by pure pettiness to get back at a single man, that's queer, that's camp, that's everything.
Inherently.
Inherently.
Fully. Yeah. Have you guys seen the tweet that's going around about the book that Shrek is based off?
Yeah, I have the
haven't.
book.
Of course you do. Of course.
Of course.
I also have
course.
like the Shrek Annual 2001 or whatever.
Oh my god.
How
I
many
just thought
years did
literally
they do
last
that for?
night
I
I was
was
prepping for this. I was on Twitter and this tweet came up of screenshots of 2 of the pages in the book, and we'll put it on the Insta. It's like Shrek attacking a man and demanding he give him chicken. It's amazing. It's iconic.
Well, yeah, I was actually reading the Wikipedia page about it. It sounds much more like Roald Dahl vibes, if I'm honest. The actual
Yeah.
book. Yeah.
It's very different from the film.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just like
Yes.
loose inspiration. And he's not as fit in the book as he is
He's really not.
in the film.
I think I was seeing that it's called Shrek because Shrek, let me get this right. I'm pretty sure it's like an anglicization of the Yiddish word for ugly.
Oh.
Which, if that's a name that he makes up for himself, is all the more heartbreaking.
Oh,
Oh, like
that's
Drek. Drek's the Yiddish word, isn't it?
I don't know.
Drek is a
be.
word. I know that from some musicals. But like they're like this Drek, which is it's like a disparaging word. I hadn't put that together. That's very interesting.
That's really
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Kathy coming with the facts.
Second fact, guys.
Yeah. Oh, this is great.
And then the general thesis question: did it make us queer? I feel like
I mean,
we.
Kate.
I think.
Yes.
Think
But
about it,
Kathy,
it's like
this was your choice. So did this make you queer?
Did this make me queer? I think rewatching on a subconscious level, yes, more than I probably ever realised.
Yeah, I feel the same.
But it's not obviously at the time. But just like the silly. Is it too far to call it subversive? I think this film is subversive.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it takes
yeah.
like the Disney heteronormativity
Yeah.
and like fucks about with it.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it's important. I think it's a big part of who I am.
And it's like
Sure.
very funny. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
a lot of my sense of humour from this film.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
really stands up. I was just really laughing at it.
Yeah. And you got so much different kinds of representation. You got trans femme wolf. You've got the thruple pigs.
Thruple little camp German pigs, yeah.
Yeah. Got everything there.
Non-standard
Got
forms
everything.
of beauty. Non-standard forms of beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
You've got a very short man who they mock continuously. You know.
That's the only maybe problematic bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the rest of it, like from a lot of films from the early 2000s, I don't think we couldn't have watched them again.
Yeah.
But this one, I'd gladly watch it again. I might watch it again, mainly for the Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party.
And that one scene in the shower.
And the shower scene, yes.
Yeah.
Which handily is at the start, and you can keep rewinding it. Anyway. Thank you so much for picking it, Kathy, and for joining us.
Oh, thanks. I was just overjoyed to be able to watch it again for, like, professional reasons. It was great.
If there's one thing this podcast is, it's professional.
It's professional. That's what
We have never called a child a cunt. Not once.
Kathy, where can we find you on the internet during this lockdown?
Instagram is probably the best place. I'm Kathy MM.
With a K.
Kathy with a K. Kathy with a K. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not Liza
She's
with a
making
Z.
fabulous sketches.
I've been
Yeah,
loving
making
them.
some silly vids. I'm trying to do like one a week, which is fun. So
They're great.
you can see them. It's keeping me sane in lockdown.
Good.
It's a great time.
Good. I'd say this is what's keeping me sane, but I don't think that would be
Obviously.
wholly accurate.
The energy is getting more and more rabid for these podcasts as it goes on.
I've been re-listening
great.
to our first few episodes, and
Oh
we're
god,
like,
yeah.
"Hi everyone, we're so excited to do this podcast," and we're like, "We're talking about Tracy Beaker again." We have aged.
Yeah. I've aged like 5 years in the 6 months we've done this. No! Oh my god, it's been so much longer.
It's almost been a year.
Ah!
I don't think the last few months count though. That's what I've decided. They don't count as
Yeah.
time that's happened. I don't think.
Do you remember like how in the first like month and a half of lockdown nothing happened, and then instantly everything that could possibly happen happened in the world,
And then time
And
just stopped.
it's kind of like a black hole, like pulling in and like throwing out
Yeah.
and everything. Oh, horrible.
Yeah, and then it's
Anyway.
nearly July, and that's where we are now.
Ugh.
Ah! And then we're going to be turning 24, the both of us, next month, and that is... I don't want to age in lockdown. I don't want to... No. Mm-mm. I'd rather...
Yeah, a birthday in lockdown does feel cruel. I will give you that.
Yeah, because you had a birthday in lockdown, didn't you?
No, mine's in September. So
Oh.
hopefully.
Oh no, you cut your hair.
Hopefully.
That's one thing.
I cut. So I was reborn in another way, I guess. It was my haircut.
The rebirth.
There was
I was like,
a
I
new
remember
me.
watching Kathy's Instagram stories and they were very fun. Oh no, it wasn't a birthday, it was cutting her hair.
I actually absolutely love that they have the same like energy to you.
Yeah, fully. Any activity in lockdown, I'm like, it's all the same.
Yeah, no, so mine's September, so I hope I'll be outside. That'll be 25, which is a bit... I'm trying not to think about it too much. But I don't know, that's the
That's a
hump,
quarter
isn't
of a century.
it? Don't do that.
She's a
I'm
guest.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You know, Kathy, one
Anyway.
day you'll die.
Oh,
But you'll live on through this podcast.
yes, forever. Oh.
Immortalised in audio
What a relief.
form.
It's what we're here for.
You can follow us at Quiz Gone By on Instagram and Twitter, and also our YouTube. On all of those, you'll also find a link to our brand new swanky Patreon. Oh. Mm. And you can find me on at KateButch1 on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me at Caitlin R. Powell on Instagram and at Caitlin PWLL on Twitter.
As always, please subscribe, review, tell a friend,
Rate.
tell an enemy. Don't tell Jennifer Saunders. She's maybe a TERF. I don't know.
Oh no!
Oh no,
Ugh,
that's
bad.
such sad news.
I'm sorry, drop that song there at the end. Oh. Thank you so much again, Kathy.
Thank you
for having me.
A lovely
Enjoy.
lockdown. And we shall see you listeners next week. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.